You're such a big fan, whether you're tweeting or during the on-air broadcast, you have such high praise for the show. What keeps you coming back on a nightly basis?
Doug, this is my highest honor ever, my achievement ever to be on the Daily Wager. The Daily is the lifeblood of my existence, and I found it fairly recently. I was looking for a college basketball game, and then all of a sudden there was this show, the Daily Wager. And I sit next to a guy who's highlighted on behind me. And during the entire broadcast, it seems to me as if he is constantly suffering because of the wagers that he makes on the daily fantasy games. And so when I saw the title, I said, I've got to check this out. Now, I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but I cannot keep from watching. I mean, Joe, what a character. And Tyler, we're glad he's back, and his health continues. And then when Stanford Steve comes on, just the pillar of I'm cool and you're not. And then you got Anita, who brings so much heat every single time. Jordan covering the NBA. You got Puck Daddy. And then when you had Brad Gilbert on during the Australian Open, we could not get enough of Brad. And what a fantastic show this whole thing is. And for me to make it here, I am on top of the pyramid. I am on cloud 27 right now, Doug.
Well, that is such a extensive breakdown. Bill, you are the best. There's no question about it. But let's also pick your brain. You are a Hall of Famer and certainly know college hoops as well as anyone. Let's talk about Gonzaga specifically. They're the lone undefeated remaining in college hoops. They've been number one pretty much all year in a lot of people's eyes. Who do you think are the top 5 best teams right now in your eyes?
Doug, I always look at talent, skill, and fit player side. And then I look for coaching, culture, and style on the administration side. And so when you look at Gonzaga and what they have, Mark Few, it is criminal that he is not already in fame. It's just fantastic what he does all the time. I love their style, their fitness, and their talent and their skill. They're super fast. Totally selfless play with a collective sense of effort and purpose, and that is to win the game. And between Kispert and between Suggs and between Timmy got more than enough to win the whole thing and run the table. But they're going to come in against some really, really good opponents. And after Illinois last night, I'm not sure that they're not the best team in the entire country. Brad Underwood, what he's done in just a very there. They have so many players who are all incredibly fit. I'm also looking at Baylor because I love the way that Baylor drew. They've got veteran guys who are big, tough, thick, and really fit. Not only are they physical, their basketball skills are superb. Now, the COVID-19 deal really slowed them down, and they're starting to come back, but they reached that peak that they were at before the pause took place. And so after Baylor, then I was looking at Michigan tonight when they just came in the biggest moments of their college careers at home, and they just got their hat handed to them and shown the door. And now, Juwan Howard, one of my all-time favorites, and then the different players that they have. The guy Hunter Dickinson really can play ball, and then Livers and the other guys who just run around like crazy, and they dribble to create for somebody else. So that's really a fun team. But another team that I really like, Doug, is Florida State. Now, I don't get to watch Florida State a lot, working on the Conference of Champions all the time, but Florida State, they have tons of guys who are long and lean and rangy, totally interchangeable, and then they have a fantastic coach in Leonard Hamilton for a long time down there, and then they've got the Bulldozer. Now, I have no idea what the Bulldozer's name is, but he's just this big stud of a guy who, when everything is kind of rumbling through, he just comes and knocks everybody down, and it's just incredible what Florida State is able to do. So if those teams all stay healthy, remember, it's a basketball game and anything can happen. It's single elimination. And while I don't know anything about what you're talking about, I sure like watching those 5 teams play.
Okay, sounds good. And like you mentioned, you've been calling the Conference of Champions all season. Let's talk about the tournament next week. You'll be on the call for that. Who should we have our eye on there?
There's 4 really good teams in the Conference of Champions. There's Oregon, there's UCLA, there's USC, and then there's Colorado. And Oregon right now is playing the best. UCLA tonight after the show here on ESPN2. UCLA at Oregon. Now, I went to UCLA, and I played for the Blazers, who were also playing on ESPN against the Warriors tonight. So this is a harmonic convergence of the highest order. And with it being Oregon, it's only natural that it would rain here in San Diego. It hailed, thunder, lightning. It was very much like being on tour with the Grateful Dead when everything was happening. And we hope that this moisture, much needed in the Southwest, makes it over there to you in Las Vegas. But with Oregon and UCLA battling out for the Conference of Champions title, I mean, if one of three teams wins out, Oregon, UCLA, or USC, they're going to win the regular season title and get the number one seed, which is hugely important in Las Vegas. Colorado has McKinley Wright and a lot of other players. One of the things that slowed Colorado down this year, they're a fabulous road team playing high in the Rockies up there. But fabulous home team high in the Rockies, but they have not been a superb road team. But they're closing out at home this weekend against the Arizona schools. Stanford was on their way to a magical season to be the fifth best team. Oregon State just a step below them. But Stanford has had injury troubles, and then Oregon State has not been able to deliver at the biggest moment. So it's going to come down to one of these four teams. We'll be there in Las Vegas at T-Mobile making all the calls, but I will not go on the air until I find out what's really happening, until I check in with the Daily Wager.
Bill, it's been awesome having you and hearing you talk about the show on the broadcast.
I want that bone from Tyler. Tell Tyler to pass that bone right through here.
Maybe next week in Las Vegas,
our
perhaps.
Dogs. Thank you. Give me that bone. Come on, man. I'm begging. Please.
You are the man in many ways.
I'm down
Bill.
on my knees.
Thank you so much for everything, and hopefully we'll check back in soon.
The Daily Wager. Shine on from the bright side of the road, showing what love can do.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.